forward to seeing what these guys got. Tash has been up front all day. She's been doing a great job. Here we go, 3 to go, green, white, checkered, green flag. Number 5 is gonna take us out. 12, looking on the outside of the number 5. A little early to be looking, but he's looking.
Walt needs help.
Yeah, it looks like he was about to jump out there and help Walt. Most likely, if Walt gets too close, 12 is going to wind up jumping out to that outside line, expectedly. Caswell back up in that 17, back up in the 4th spot. He's not looking to lose anything.
Oh, 3 trucks to the outside.
Number 17 of Caswell looking to push back up front again. They're going to be with Walter and that 71 back there. 71. John Van Blaircom. That's, oh no! Oh no, no, no.
Oh, they took the white flag.
They took the white flag? That was a white flag? It was. We're going racing. That was a bad incident. We will jump back and look at that incident here in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to go ahead and watch the finish of this race with a bunch of drivers gunning it down the back end right now. Here we go. These 6 drivers are going to put on a show. 5 on the outside, inside, 17 on the outside. Walter Sahidek is going to be pushing that number 17. 12 behind the number 5. 12 not going to be able to look. I don't know if he's going to be able to look to the outside. 12 is going to be pushing the number 5 across the finish line. And we have a big crash right up into the catch fence. Amazing job by the number 5 to stay out front, getting pushed by that number 12 of Bryce Fontaine. 27 of Bryce Fontaine, sorry. Great job, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to go ahead and get to our driver interview. Looks like Tyler Kay and Kenneth Gallman are going to be battling it out for the restart here at Richmond for the Down and Out 175. This has been one of the most exciting races we've been able to watch all season. Here we go. Pace cars off the track. We're going back to the Geico restart zone. Green flag. A little bit of bumping right there in the beginning. Jockeying for position 86 is Shane Cochran, trying to fight his way out to the front. Number 8 creating a decent gap for himself, able to get up there. He's going to be running his own race here in a moment. They get final lap. No more cautions for this. Austin, here we go. Last time around Richmond. 8 battling it out with the 71.
This is it. Definitely not the podium finishers that we were expecting 5 laps ago. But here we are.
Not at all. And the number 8 takes it home. I told you we were going to get a new winner tonight, Austin. I knew it. Tyler Kay. And that was my pick as well. The number 8 and the number 66 are fighting hard for P2 here. 8 not trying. Oh, and they door bang a little bit right there. Ellswick probably able to get the run.
66. Ellswick has the run on the outside.
8 still not letting go. 66 riding that middle line, seeing if he can go ahead and take it home.
Coming to the white.
Final lap, ladies and gentlemen. It's a dragneck battle for the 2nd place here. 8, 66 side by side, coming in for the last lap here.
66 still side by side with the 8. He's going to get the drive down off the hill. The 8's going to try to work him up the track, try to take that line away from him. The 66 still rolling off the top. The 8's going to get a little tight here. He's going to drive to the bottom. The 66 is going to be a drag race to the finish line, and it goes low.
Oh! Close finish. Ellswick goes ahead and takes that 2nd place, but our winner, Thomas Coonan coming out and dominating this race at Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Back to green flag racing here at Richmond. 3 to go. These guys are going to battle it out.
Crackhead with a real good restart. Simple got a heck of a jump on the out.
Going around for 2 to go. Brown looking for that 48. Fought his way back up to the front. He's on his inside.
Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. This is GEC, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40
Looking forward to seeing what these guys got. Tash has been up front all day. She's been doing a great job. Here we go, 3 to go, green, white, checkered, green flag. Number 5 is going to take us out. 12 looking on the outside of the number 5. A little early to be looking, but he's looking.
Walt needs help.
Yeah, it looks like he was about to jump out there and help Walt. Most likely, if Walt gets too close, 12 is going to wind up jumping out to that outside line, expectedly. Caswell back up in that 17, back up in the 4th spot. He's not looking to lose anything.
Oh, 3 trucks to the outside.
Number 17 of Caswell looking to push back up front again. They're going to be with Walter and that 71 back there. 71. John Van Blaircom. That's, oh no. Oh no, no, no.
Oh, they took the white flag.
The white, they took the white flag? That was a white flag? It was. We're going racing. That was a bad incident. We will jump back and look at that incident here in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to go ahead and watch the finish of this race with a bunch of drivers gunning it down the back end right now. Here we go. These 6 drivers are going to put on a show. 5 on the outside, inside, 17 on the outside. Walter Sahidek is going to be pushing that number 17. 12 behind the number 5. 12 not going to be able to look. I don't know if he's going to be able to look to the outside. 12 is going to be pushing the number 5 across the finish line. And we have a big crash right up into the catch fence. Amazing job by the number 5 to stay out front, getting pushed by that number 12 of Bryce Fontaine.
down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. This is GEC, there's no room for fear. Green flag drops and the engines roar. 40 cars and we all want more. Mash the gases, we're on the line. Forward and we're feeling fine. Drifting close in a slipstream dance. Taking the cars in a high-speed trance. Tri-oval side by side in this GEC League. There's nowhere to hide. White flag need a perfect lap. All gas, no brakes to close that gap. Checkered waves in the race is won. Another battle is over and done. Cheers to the booth, hope they like the show. Victory lane is all
Welcome to the THDesign Truck Series here on GEC. We're here with Race 9 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard, for the Outlaw at the Bricks 200. Had a little bit of a late start as my 3-year-old had a poop emergency about 45 seconds ago, but we got that all cleaned up. We're ready to go racing here with the trucks. We got a 29 car field for you. We're going to have a lot of fun. Drivers are hitting the grid already. Cameron Craighead going to be on the pole with Brianna Thompson on the outside. That sounds familiar. It's because those two have been the hot drivers the last 2 weeks. Both of them making it to victory lane. Going to have a fun one here tonight. We have 6 drivers who have volunteered to be a part of our fan or our driver cam program. Weaver, Griffin, Culleton, NASA, Sellers, and Handley all going to give us a little peek into their sim rigs tonight. So when we jump on board with their virtual cars, we're also going to jump on board with their in real life sim rigs. As I mentioned, it was Craighead and Thompson going to be starting out front. We're waiting on just 2 more drivers to jump into the race. And as always, thank you for tuning in the live chat and in the YouTube tonight. Already looks like we got some cheering sections going. Fans for Kano, Simmons, and Gallman. Let us know who you're pulling for. Let us know who you think's going to take this one home. And with that, looks like everyone has now hit the grid. So it's going to be Cameron Craighead and Brianna Thompson out front. Then TJ Hanley and Michael Boyd in row 2. Landon Cano, Kyle Simmons in row 3. Coleman Chapman and Aaron Yancey in row 4. David Culleton and John Sellers in row 5. John Anthony and Lee Kiernan in row 6. Then Kaito Nasa and Jay Monin in row 7. Jonah Seawright, Robert Weibel in row 8. Kenneth Gallman, Nate Weaver in row 9. Aiden Como and Stephen Hayes in row 10. Scotty Yancey and Sol Denny in row 11. Joshua Faria Jr. and Ricky Setzer in row 12. Jonathan Hammond and Jamie Griffin, row 13. That's 2 drivers I would have expected to qualify further up front. We'll see how they do. Robert McMillan Jr. and Alejandro Khan in row 14. And out back, it's Stephen Abu Saeed in that 2 Budweiser truck. As they are coming around through turns 3 and 4. This is one of the tracks where 3 and 4 are truly separate turns. You'll see it all night tonight, over a mile on the straightaways. And then you get down to these little short chutes between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's where the money is made. How you get off of turns 2 and 4 set you up to go weaving down the drafting straightaways. You'll see trucks weaving back and forth, the leader trying to break the draft, and the cars and trucks behind him trying to find it. Pace truck is off. They come through the starting zone here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And they're off. Green flag is out. Pretty tidy up front, a little squirrely in the back, but everyone keeps it straight. Oh, it's a car in the wall. I believe that was the 6 of Kiernan. And caution is out already. Here on lap 1, Ricky Setzer involved. Take a look back at this one. Here, Griffin and Hammond just ahead of the 4. And it looks like he just got loose on his own there in turn 1. Overcorrected and head on into that outside wall. That is a tough way to start for the 4. But an incident like that on turn 1 is exactly what you keep that fast repair for when you absolutely need it. But it's also early. I mean, that looks like a pretty rough contact, but we'll see if he needs to use the fast repair or can leverage some repairs here early on tonight. So, just 1 lap in, 1 caution already. Everyone pretty much where they started so far. Looks like the 96 truck, Aiden Como, might have lost a few positions there. Dropped from 19th to 27th. Had a rough start to the race. Up front, though, Coleman Chapman gained 2 positions. That's the most gained just about anyone in the field. Anyone in the top 20 anyway. While we're waiting, we'll take a look at our driver cams one more time. As we mentioned, we've got 6 drivers sharing a view into their living rooms, bedrooms, closets, garages, whatever it is, wherever they're racing. I want to thank everybody for participating in that. Later on in the race, when we get to our stage break, let's go ahead and talk about the race here tonight. 80 laps total. Stage going to be at lap 32, so we've got stages of 32 and 48. And our fuel window, only about 18 to 20 laps. So in the first stage, everyone's going to have to stop somewhere right around the middle. And then that final stage, they're going to have to get a little creative to save some fuel to make it on a single stop. So I'm going to expect at least probably 2 stops if we catch a caution and drivers start trying to find a way to use fuel strategy or tire strategy to get to the front. But as we get closer to that stage lap, we are going to give the fans a chance to be on the Jumbotron here tonight. As we get closer to the end of stage 1, I'm going to send out a link in the chat where you can give us access to your webcam and show us cheering on your drivers. We'll do that fan cam at the stage break. Something new we're going to try tonight. So far, fastest lap goes to Jamie Griffin. He's all the way back in 23rd, but he was the fastest car in that short bit of laps there. Looks like we're going to go around at least one more time here under caution. Big, long, sweeping laps here at Indianapolis. It's 2.5 miles all the way around this monument to motorsports. As I mentioned, long way around here. The caution laps here are tremendously long. But that makes it a lot easier to figure out. You can make all those repairs as we're talking about. Setzer saw him hard into the inside wall for that first caution, or the outside wall, sorry. He has made it back out on track. Currently 2 laps down. Did end up using that fast repair, so I imagine he lost the laps just getting the tow. And this cat's used up all 9 lives. He's gonna have to be careful with it here on out, but his night is not over. So up front, still Cameron Craighead in the lead, but it's Handley now moved up to second as Thompson the restart in third. Or fourth, depending on how you're reading it, but in row 2 anyway. Ace truck gonna hit pit road. And we are back racing at the Brickyard. Big blinks, though, out of the 9. The 09 up at the front. Handley having some connection issues, and you could see everybody on the inside line check up to avoid whatever was going on. There was one of the other drivers was blinking back in the pack, too. Everything's staying clean, though, for now. Thompson to the outside of Handley for second. Great shot here down the backstretch. You can see trucks weaving all over the pack. Monin, I think, might have tagged the wall. It says Monin's racing out of Japan. To ask him about that one. Up front, Thompson has taken the lead away from Craighead and done it while turning the fastest lap of the race. Boyd gets a little loose off turn 2, keeps it straight though. Now we're kind of getting into the name of the game, which is how do you get clean air in the corners and then draft your heart out on the straights. Up front, Craighead sticking right there with the 48. Looks like the other truck having network issues at the moment is Aaron Yancey. Now on lap 7, these 3 drivers at the front have a little bit of a breakaway from the rest of the pack, but they are right on top of each other. looks like we've got a wreck in the back. Still staying green, though. Como, Hammond, and Weaver all involved. Let's back it up. One lap and ride along here with Nate Weaver in the 81. Back on lap 7. Trucks behind get a big run down the backstretch. That's Hammond and Como. Now all three of them a little loose, and then Weaver gets all the way loose. Tags the wall. Hammond and Como with minimal contact, they're able to save it. I think Weaver caught the worst of that one. While we were watching that, Hanley has taken second away from Craig Head. And now the 09 to the inside of Thompson. He's there. And now they're side by side. It's going to be a 3-wide battle at the front for the lead here on lap 9. Craighead down low. Hanley in the middle. Thompson up high. Then you got Cano and Chapman trying to draft their way into it. And Craighead takes it back on the bottom with the slide job. Hanley tries to cross him over. Can't get it done. And now it's a 5-car battle for the lead. As all this side-by-side battling at the front is just bringing everyone closer together. Craighead out front for now. Got a tight battle here. Back around 13th. NASA, Griffin, Weibel, and Seawright. A little further back. Looking at Hammond getting side by side with Sellers. Looks like he's going to take it. These drivers that started out back, like Hammond and Griffin especially, we usually see them run closer to the front. This is going to be a long night. Track position not easy to come by, especially if somewhere in the middle of the pack someone has to check up like we saw Weaver do. It really spreads everyone out. There's another battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Chapman, Boyd, and Simmons. As Craighead and Hanley start to break away a little bit at the front. About halfway through this first fuel run. A lot of caution laps to help that fuel mileage, but drivers are going to have to stop at least once here in the first stage. Monin with an issue. I believe he hit the wall. Oh, and you can see that 67 way out of the groove. More contact. Currently running in 12th. It looks like Griffin is going to get a run on the 67 here. And that truck is damaged and loose. You can see it right there. Monin, if you're coming down, yeah, you got to go ahead and hit pit road. Try to get whatever is wrong with the 67 taken care of. Hanley and Craighead still battling up front. Got a couple drivers we have not heard from you know, both good and bad here towards the back. The 2 of Abu Saeed up 8 positions from the start of the race, but kind of stalled out here in 21st. As we mentioned, the pack really spaced out with the 2 heading in the right direction. Sellers is going to go around. Sellers has lost 11 positions here. I would think that might have been mostly due to that contact as Weaver got loose. Behind them, 47 truck of Khan, up 5 positions on the night. We're going to need a lot more to get all the way to the front. McMillan up 3. And then the 82 of Stephen Hayes has lost a couple positions from the start of the race. Hayes might be looking for some speed, or maybe saving fuel for a strategy play. I'm not sure. Here goes the 82 by McMillan. Setzer heading to pit road again. And Weaver has also made his way onto pit road. Well, it looked like Hanley might have gotten tight, close to the wall, if not hitting it. That's going to let Thompson go by for second. And this is where it gets really interesting. At this point, Brianna can see Craighead out front, but I feel like the 33 is just far enough away. She's not going to be able to get that great draft here on the front stretch. As we jump on board with the 48. Looks like they're maxing out around 184, 185 miles an hour. Heading into turn 1. And right here off turn 2, this is where you get most of your lap time make or break, is how can you get off of turn 2 with the hammer down and build some momentum down the backstretch to try and catch up to that driver in front of you. But right now, that gap staying pretty consistent between the 33 and the 48, and then behind them, it is really getting spread out. Kano is now up to 3rd, Hanley back to 4th. Looks like Boyd trying to get around Chapman. Griffin's back there going 3 wide on Kiernan and Anthony. Jamie Griffin is up 15 spots from the start of this thing. Marching forward. Knocking on the door of the top 10 here. He can get around the 6 truck. And these things look loose tonight. Oh, you can see just how loose. I don't know if it's just the track temperature or if the trucks are getting loose longer into the run. And here comes Griffin to pit road. Oh, and Kiernan swipes right in front of him. Into the wall. Kiernan still sideways at the entrance to pit road. Everyone going around him. He gets it figured out. I guess he took the toe. That was not what you want. You're that 6. If we can go back and get a better shot of that one. So here they were coming down previous lap. Down the backstretch. And then it seemed like maybe Kiernan was not intending to hit pit road. But when the other drivers started coming in, he swerved over to try and make it. Did not work out. A couple drivers actually pulled out of pitting. Hopefully they have enough fuel to go another lap. But as it sits, there are 3, 4, 5, 6 drivers that have not come to pit road. The first one is Hammond in the 92. Then Abu Said, Khan, Sellers, McMillan, and Hayes. All still out there. Hammond has a 6-second lead over the 2. But all these drivers got to be coming to pit road soon. They have not been on pit road at all this race. Again, we thought the fuel window would be maybe 18 to 20. But it looks like it's going to be shorter than that. And Griffin picks up the black flag on his entrance to pit road. I'm sure he was a little distracted with the 6 truck getting sideways in front of him. But here comes Hammond, Abu Said, and Khan. Hayes, McMillan. So Sellers now the only truck still out there. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at what happened to Jamie. He actually got it right here, so it might have been speeding as he left pit road. Not getting onto it. See him back on pit road right here. Certainly going to derail his run to the front, but with a track this big, serving a penalty on pit road should not cost you a whole lap, as long as you can do it quickly. John Sellers is still out there. Now 19, or... oh, my whole leaderboard is moving around there. Yeah, 19 laps from the start of the race. You can see him jump right to the lead there in just 2 laps as everyone else hit pit road earlier than him. Sellers going to come down pit road now. And this is a track where the entrance, those 2 yellow cones, is where you start having to get down to pit road speed. They're kind of out from the wall. At a lot of tracks, the pit wall and the cone are kind of in the same spot, and your brain calibrates to that. So a lot of drivers are going to have to pay attention, make sure they get down to pit road speed at the cone, not at the pit wall. And that is going to hand the lead back to the 48 with a 33 right there on the bumper. These two have a 4-second breakaway from everybody else. And they didn't do it with any trickery either. Both of them taking 4 tires and a full tank of fuel on their stop. Handley, who's back in 3rd, actually went with a 2-tire strategy. But he lost a lot of ground to those leaders. I'm not really sure what they did necessarily to gain so much time. They all pitted at the same time back on lap 17. But Thompson and Craighead just must have been a lot more aggressive getting up to speed off of pit road. All right, Griffin has come back out. Looks like he cleared, but he still got his black flag. At least on my screen, so I thought he came in and served it. He is a lap down. Monin is now the first car 1 lap down in the lucky dog position, potentially. Up front, these two still going at it. And I think if I'm the 33, you've got 11 laps to go. Might just tuck in here and just make sure I'm in position to make the pass just before the end of the stage, because if I start doing it now, it might just be a game of leapfrog back and forth. When the trucks are this close, the second one definitely has the advantage because you're just going to get a huge run in the draft down the backstretch and the front stretch every lap. So you want to time this up just right to win the stage. It's also practice for the end of the race if you get in a similar situation. Wow, Abu Said looks like getting a couple proposals for marriage in the chat. good one. Not sure I've seen that before. We got people cheering for Skidmark Motorsports, infield legends. Why don't we do our team rundown here as we're getting to the end of the stage. Brianna racing for Fish Motorsport. We've got to get her organized into a team here at GEC. Then in second, Cameron is leading the charge for Skidmark Motorsports. John Anthony also in the top 10, and Kiernan all the way back in 28th. We saw him go head on into that pit wall back on lap 17. Then in third is Landon Cano, the first of two IT and Out Esports Group cars running third. Michael Boyd leading the way for Dirty South Racing. He got his teammate Chapman right there on his bumper, and Robert Weibel back in 13th. Then the 7, Aaron Yancey running in 6th. Great run there for the 7. Scotty back in 16th. Maria Jr. and Setzer, I think they both had some issues and are a couple laps down at this point. And TJ racing for THDesigns, of course, with Sol Denny, 7 and 17th. And Kyle Simmons leading the way for Outlaw Performance, one of our league sponsors and the sponsor of tonight's race, the Outlaw at the Bricks 200. John Sellers back in 21st, Nate Weaver in 26th. Then rounding out the top 10 is Kaito Nasa, one of two drivers with no team affiliation here tonight. Gallman the other. And then Hammond leading the way for Infield Legends with Abu Saeed and Khan running back around 20th. Seawright, a lone entry for JWR tonight in 12th. And then in 14th and 15th, you got Culleton and Como driving for Racing Edge, a team that is no more as of last week. Team captain Thomas Coonan announcing that the team going to take a break for this season. So these two still flying the flag as teammates, but might be looking for a team if you're recruiting. Well, looks like Lynch is... Oh, contact there between Culleton and Weibel. You saw it live. The 53 smacked the wall. 50 gets into him. With 6 to go in the stage, I think they're going to be all right, but that is going to slow them both down as you see those drivers behind getting a big run. See Lynch saying, why didn't Mr. Gallman show up on the list? Well, that was probably just my mistake. Up front, Craighead got the lead back from Thompson while we were doing that teammate rundown. Go back and see how that happened. They had been right on each other and side by side for a couple laps, trading it back and forth. Then right here, Craighead was able to take it from the 48, get out front. Now he's starting to drive away with just a little bit of a gap. Everybody really spread out. Closest battle on track is this one between the 50 and the 53 for 15th. We saw them make contact with the wall and each other not too long ago. Other than that, Hammond is about 2/10 back from NASA trying to catch that 19 truck. 4 to go in the stage. 92 continuing to work the bumper of the 19. But as they're kind of drafting together, they're catching Handley as well. There he goes down to the bottom. NASA just way up high, almost into the wall. There it is. Just a little kiss. I don't think that's going to be any meaningful damage. But it is going to cost the position. Now Hammond trying to get another one out of Hanley before this stage is over. Oh, we've got our starting grid decided to make an appearance uninvited. There we go. So now just 3 laps to go. And we've had a couple turn of events. Jamie Griffin picked up that black flag, and I thought he served it, but maybe he came in and serviced the truck. That will not count as a black flag serve if you do anything to the truck. So he's 3 laps down. Monin in the 67 is going to be the lucky dog candidate if everything stays as it is. That 67 is the only truck 1 lap down. Weaver is 5 laps down and in the pits again after we saw him have some issues earlier. But up front, it's Craighead starting to gap the 48 even further now, over a half second between them. Weaver is out of the car. Now just 1 to go. I don't think anyone is going to catch the 33 here on the final lap of stage 1. And as we mentioned, we're going to do a fan cam here at the stage break. The link is in the chat. All you got to do is share your webcam with us. The audio will be muted. You can use your phone too, and we will do a little fan cam action here at the break. And there's the caution. 33 takes the stage win. The driver is getting stage points here in stage 1. Going to be Craighead, Thompson, Kano, Boyd, Chapman, Yancey. That's Aaron Yancey, Anthony, Simmons, Hammond, and NASA. And I'll tell you what, if you want to see some disappointment, you can see it in our driver cams here at the end of stage 1. Griffin, Culleton, both having major issues, whether it's contact or penalties. Weaver also with issues. Sellers back at 21st, not gaining the track position he was hoping for. NASA, though, in the top 10. Again, you can see the turmoil in the driver's eyes tonight. 32 laps done here at Indianapolis. Still going to be 48 to go. And while the drivers come to pit road and decide how they want to start stage 2, we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back with more action here in the GEC THDesigns Truck Series at Indianapolis. Welcome back to the THDesigns Truck Series, Outlaw at the Bricks 200. We're getting ready to start stage 2. We're going to jump on board John Sellers in the one truck here on this restart. Riding in 13th position on the inside. He's going to be right in the middle of all the action here as we get racing again at the end of lap 35. We're going to be riding on board with him in his sim rig too. Pretty clean start so far. You can see he's kind of taking it easy through turn 1, especially on cold tires. The entire field did come down pit road under the stage brake and get 4 fresh Goodyears on their trucks. Sellers to the inside of Gallman. Gonna clear him, that is important. I thought Gallman might be able to side draft him, get it back. Again, hitting 184, 185. That's Steven Abu Said right in front of him for 12th. And the caution is out already here in stage 2. Have to figure out the cause of that one. I don't see anything obvious on my screen. Looks like Griffin is slow. Back and check on the 5. Oh, it was Faria that started this, it looks like. Jump on board with Jamie. Yeah, swipes the 53, and it looks like Griffin made it through before he gets tagged by the 53. Goes through the grass. Does hit the wall, but I don't think that is race-ending damage. Still a couple laps down for that 5 truck. 2 laps down at the moment. And it looks like Hanley just picked up a black. Possibly he got that cleared, though. See that again. The 9 gets swiped heavily, and then Handley gets, I think that's McMillan going off his nose. And they're all down through the grass. McMillan into the wall hard. There it is, and we'll go ahead and watch it again here at full speed. Yeah, I mean, heavy contact for Yancey. Griffin might actually be the least damaged of all the trucks involved in that one. And that's going to kind of shake things up again. We saw a lot of drivers kind of move around here at the top of the field. So we had been talking about Aaron Yancey was running in the top 10. Now he's back to 18th. Losing some positions there on that restart. But at the same time, Abu Said and Khan, we were kind of watching them back around 25th not too long ago. Now they're up to 11th and 12th. And again, I don't see anything fishy or sneaky about their pit strategy. They're just kind of making their way up through there. We did get a team roster correction from Wesley Lynch stating that Gallman is not an unassociated driver. He belongs here with the Skidmark Motorsports gang, so we've got Gallman grouped in there with Craighead, Anthony, and Kiernan. So a lot going on here at Indy. Seems like every time we look away from the leaders, they are swapping that lead between the 48 and the 33. The 45 of Kano has just been lurking there around third or fourth the whole race. That seems to be his MO. All season long, that 45 is right in position, ready to pounce when it's time. So far this season, Craighead has Craighead has 4 wins. Michael Boyd, who is currently 4th, has 2 wins. Hammond, who's now made his way up to 6th, has 1. Thompson has 1. And that is it. Kano's had 3 podiums, though. He is knocking on the door to get his first victory of the season. Would love to do it here in Indianapolis. His team captain, Caleb Ellswick, beat me here at Indy 3 or 4 seasons ago here in the trucks. We had a great fuel mileage race going. So I know those IT and out guys know how to make the fuel strategy work at Indy and make the tires last as long as they need to. And I'm guessing that Captain Ellswick is in the ear of Kano tonight, sitting on the pit box. Shout out to Caleb. We are coming back to the green flag this time around. And as they sit, Jamie Griffin is 2 laps down, but he is in the lucky dog position as no one is 1 lap down. I think Monin was previously 1 lap down and got the lucky dog there on that last one. So Jamie gonna need a couple more cautions to get it. He's the only truck 2 laps down. 5 truck having a lot of tough luck to start the race at Indianapolis. But up front is still Craighead and Thompson on the front row. Thompson is the leader. Jump on board with Thompson for this restart. Right on the bumper. We're all the way inside the 33 car right there. As Craighead dives to the bottom. Ooh, a little bit of contact. It's a 48 up the track. They're still side by side. Thompson not going away that easy. Craighead threw some elbows out on that first turn. Takes the position right there, but the 48 maybe thinking about a crossover. And caution is out again. This time Sellers, Denny, Kiernan, Monin, Handley, NASA, Abu Saeed. I mean, we got half the field involved in this one, folks. Here on lap 40, it is getting wild. Trying to figure out where this started. I think it might have started with Kiernan going off track. That's the first thing that popped up on my screen. No, it starts way up ahead of the 06. Let's see who that is. Sellers, the first to go sideways. Get a look here at that one truck. Swipes one car. Then everybody into the wall to avoid him. Comes back down the track. We'll see. NASA was also involved in the 19. And this is all up in front of Sellers. Oh, might have been some contact with Abu Saeed. Sends a 19 into the wall hard. And then there may be some more contact that comes out of this. Oh, wow. Griffin swerves to avoid the 19, is able to, but Hanley is not. Yancey is not. We got to see this. So both of these wrecks happen right... Oh, sorry. I want to get on board with Griffin here and follow this. Griffin got a front row seat for both of these wrecks. Sellers right in front of him. He skates by, maybe tags Weibel. Then here, hard on the brakes and able to avoid it. Now what we're going to have to wait to see is if Griffin had any contact at all in either of those wrecks that might nullify his lucky dog eligibility, but just have to wait and see on that one. And it looks like Sol Denny is out of the race. I didn't see exactly what happened to the O2. We've still got another lap of pacing, so let's go back and see what happens to Denny in the O2. I think that's the truck that gets hard swiped by the 1. Then a little bit of contact from Handley. Wow, the 09 can't catch a break through this one, and then into the 19. And I do think Griffin had a little bit of contact in there, so he is not going to get the lucky dog. And this race just keeps getting more and more complicated. Not for the top 3, though. It's still Craighead, Thompson, Cano. Is what it's been for most of the race. Handley was up there at one point. Nobody opting to come down pit road all the way back until the drivers that had damage in that caution. Everybody else staying out. I think track position is worth its weight in gold tonight. You're going to have to figure out your fuel mileage, but I don't think you want to give up being close to the leader, or at least within sight of the leader. Stay relevant. As they come out of turn 4, the last time under this caution. Craighead in the 33 is the leader, the 48 of Thompson. Starting on the inside, then Cano and Chapman in row 2. Pace truck is off. And Craighead back in the gas, leading them back to green. Great start by the 33. And they're side by side all the way through the field. Sellers up high, out of the groove. Gonna keep it out of the wall. A couple of trucks going by though. Oh, and there Sellers does get into the wall just a little bit. Now Hammond trying to make a move on Kano. Down low into turn 3. Slide right up in front of the 45. Chapman in P3. Now the top 5 on a breakaway. There they go, and it looks like the 81 of Weaver has parked it for the night. But lucky for us, he is going to join us here in the booth. Nate, how you doing after a tough race here at Indy? Try that again. Nate, you got a copy?
Hey, I got you now.
There it
Shane.
is. I just realized I had muted my Discord, but luckily I didn't mute my broadcast. But look at this up front. Craighead and Thompson lose momentum, battling with each other, and now everyone running for the lead. Thompson trying to block on the bottom.
It's a stampede into one.
Chapman and Hammond trying to make the most of their opportunity. Thompson going to hold on to the lead, but Chapman going to do everything he can to kind of muscle his way around Craighead on the outside. Now Simmons and Seawright are joining the party as well. "35 laps to go, no more stage breaks. We know the drivers will need to stop at least once for fuel. It has been an interesting one so far.
It was tough out there tonight.
Now we saw it just seemed like there were a couple drivers who couldn't catch a break. You're one of them.
I just we was bad when we unloaded. It felt like.
Chapman now trying to cross over the 45, and the caution is out.
Con, Como, Wivel.
We've got a little bit of everybody on this one. I've got, oh boy, Anthony, Con, Como, Weibel, Gallman, Hayes, Griffin again. Just needs to keep it clean in one of these wrecks. Let's see where this one might have started. I'm seeing Stephen Hayes goes off track as the first event.
It was out of my view, but I seen smoke and everybody started washing back up towards the wall.
I can hear the rubber squealing. Let's see. Maybe we'll watch Weibel. That might be the one. Oh, they're kind of... Oh, they're 3 wide, basically. As Khan comes down on the nose of Anthony, then Weibel and Como get together, trying to check up. Then they get together again. Oh, and Griffin goes through the grass to avoid the 53. Not the worst decision in the world, but again, it's just going to keep him from being eligible for that lucky dog.
Yeah, Jamie was right there with me tonight. He ain't been able to catch a break.
Yeah, he picked up a black flag at one point, and I think came down to serve it under green and might have had something tagged on his pit options, so it didn't clear his black. And he had to come in a second time. At one point, he was 3 or 4 laps down. Now he's 2 laps down in the lucky dog position. But the last 3 cautions, he's picked up at least 1 incident point in the caution wreck and continued to lose that lucky dog. So it's been an interesting race for sure. And again, the top three is Craighead, Thompson, and Kano. This time Thompson in the lead. And this time drivers are coming to pit road.
Everybody. Looks like everybody's coming for freshies.
Still 33
And
laps to go. So I gotta guess everyone is planning to split this stage. You can make it on one stop from here. Well, at least the paint schemes are looking good tonight.
There are some sharp looking rides out there.
Yeah, a lot of THDesign trucks. Some fresh schemes I hadn't seen. I think Denny had one I hadn't seen before. NASA's got a great one. And TJ's there tonight. We're not having any trading paints issues this week. Last week we had TJ out there in just like a base paint for most of the race. I knew that couldn't be right. We finally got trading paints to wake up at the end of the race. So again,
Like Sellers, looks like Sellers might be getting some damage repair. He was still sitting on pit road, but he's rolling now.
yeah, so it looks like Griffin was able to stay out and get a wave around here. Or he got the lucky dog, I'm not sure.
But he's on. It's like Jamie's on pit road now. He's rolling out of his box.
Yeah,
It's a
so
long pit road.
he got around. Maybe he did get the lucky dog because it looks like Kiernan and who is that? Kiernan and Setzer are still out there waiting to get their wave around. Yeah, this has been a tough one. But as we look through who's on the move, Hammond has made it 20 positions improved up into the top 5. Then McMillan up 15 positions, sitting in 12th, knocking on the door of the top 10. Abu Saeed up 15, Seawright up 9, and Khan up 6. Positions have been tough to come by, whether it's in the lead or back in the hornet's nest from about 10th to 30th.
Yeah.
Check on the weather here. Track temp at 97, so it's, you know, this isn't the slickest condition possible, but it's sure not a cold, grippy track either. And we want to thank again everybody watching on YouTube. Hit subscribe, hit like, tell us who you're cheering for. Tell us who you think's going to win if that is different than who you're cheering for. Let us know who you think the favorites are heading into the playoffs. This is race 9. There's only one more race in the regular season, and I believe it is Darlington, which might be an equally unforgiving classic track.
I have a feeling you're absolutely correct there. That one's going to be tough, too.
Yeah, so Griffin now 1 lap down, but so is Weibel and Kiernan. So those three going to be battling for that next lucky dog.
Keep an eye on Simmons just quietly hanging outside the top 7 there. He's 3 rows back.
Yeah, we've only mentioned him when it's he's kind of catching up to that lead pack. We'll see what he's got.
I think he's been quiet and steady all night there, hanging out with the Outlaw guys. I got the best truck in the group, I think, tonight.
And I was just about to say, it looked like Griffin jumped to the inside and might have passed some cars before the start-finish line. That's going to be a black flag. Unless there was a meaningful checkup or something and he was avoiding a wreck. That's going to be one for race control to take a look at. But up front, they're kind of single-filed out. Craighead sticking right with the 48 for the lead. And then a little bit of a gap back to third, which is Chapman now. Kano and Hammond the top 5. And there's the caution already. And it does look like race control cleared the black for Griffin. That's still going to be reviewed post-race to make sure it's valid, but that could have been an issue. And this time, McMillan, Yancey, Como involved. See what we got going on. Ooh, McMillan might have been the start, and then Como and Culleton, teammates getting together, trying to avoid it. Let's back it up. Now on board the GEC blimp, you can see McMillan a little slow out of the corner. That gives everybody behind him a big run, and then they're all going to kind of stack together. Coming into turn 3. Oh, and then Como and McMillan get together. Then Culleton avoids, smacks the wall, bounces back into the 96. Then McMillan just trying to stay out of the way. Gets caught by Khan, NASA. Yeah, everybody. Sellers gets caught up in it too. That was a rough one. Now what happened to Scotty Yancey? He might have been the one that actually avoided contact here by going through the grass. You can see the smoke already. The 9 just watching everybody else get together. Actually makes it down to the service road. And misses all of the action. I think that was a smart decision here for the 9. Running 18th. Staying out of that one. So now we've got a handful of drivers coming back down pit road. NASA picked up a meatball. Nate, you still got a black flag you didn't clear. Did you know that?
Well, I seen it sitting. I seen it sitting here. I just parked the thing, man. I was so over it. I just felt like every time I went out there, I was either spinning it out or bouncing it off the fence.
So now NASA on pit road with the meatball, already having used the fast repair there on the 19. Tough night. It looks like our onboard cameras have been the curse tonight, as almost every driver who offered it up been caught in multiple accidents. I think Culleton has been in at least 3. You're out of the race. Sellers is back in 21st, just behind Culleton. I think they're both still on the lead lap, but in the pits making repairs. And then NASA was in the top 10 at one point, just now getting caught up in this with devastating damage. Dropped to 25th. Still in the pits.
I thought that in-car camera was my good luck charm. We've done that the past couple of weeks.
It was last week, that's for sure.
Popped off a couple of top 10s, and boy, yeah, tonight it was. I don't want to say that's what it was. I was really hoping for a good show, and Indy's my home track, and we did some practice the other night, and I didn't have a good feeling about it, and tonight was even worse than the practice.
I don't know. I'm sure this can't be scientifically correct, but I feel like the more I practice, the worse race I have. I think, you know what? The last time we came here to Indy, I think I only ran my first complete lap at Indy in the Next Gen Cup was my qualifying lap, and I was on the pole. So that tells you how much practice is worth, at least in my garage.
I'm with you. The more I practice, the more I overthink it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think, to be honest, I don't always have time to get in meaningful practice, so sometimes stage 1 is just all about learning.
Well, stage 1 or just that 45 minutes we have before the race.
Oh, I don't have time for that either.
Well, see, you have a lot more duties than I do, so.
Yeah, I've got
to
get 3 kids, 3 toddlers down for bed just before the race starts, so that 45 minutes is kind of a luxury.
I guess that's where it kind of works out. I got 3 teenagers, so they can kind of put themselves to bed. Dad's busy right now.
One day. I actually had to delay the broadcast tonight a minute or two because my 3-year-old jumped out of bed to tell me he had dropped a deuce in the diaper. So, at least he told me. That's better.
Nobody likes that kind of surprise.
But back here at Indy, we got 27 laps of racing to complete. Looks like Weibel picked up a black flag under caution somewhere. He's going to have to deal with that. Jamie Griffin, still 1 lap down, is going to start here in the Lucky Dog with Kiernan, Culleton, NASA. NASA and Como are still on pit road, actually, so they're probably going to lose another lap. But we're back to green flag racing. Thompson leads the field ahead of Craighead. Kano and Chapman. They've been waiting all night to find the right moment to battle these two for the lead. Craighead slaps the wall. No harm, no foul. And is going to get a great run here off the bottom. Again, the 33 just trying to find the right moment to make a pass. Right there. I mean, like, you can see the opportunity is there, but he is choosing to wait. Whether it's to save on fuel, by not being that first car out in the clean air, or what. It seems very deliberate that the 33 is not taking the runs every time he gets it.
Maybe some head games going on. Just get in his head. Just let him know you're there.
Yeah, that too.
Don't have to work hard to pass them if they make a mistake on their own.
Yeah, I mean, but these two drivers are the last 2 winners of the series. Craighead last week at Motegi, Thompson at Rockingham. And then Boyd won the week before at Nashville. He's riding in 7th. Then Craighead the 2 weeks before that. So the 33 is the truck to beat every single week. Going to be the playoff favorite for sure, both on, just pure mojo, but also on all those bonus points he's picked up here in the regular season. And then Hammond, the only other driver other than those to have won this season, he won back at Chicagoland. And I'm not really sure which of these tracks between Rockingham, Indy, Chicago, which of those are going to translate to speed at Darlington.
Yeah, Darlington's its own animal, so. Maybe Motegi. Motegi was kind of like a flat Darlington, so.
I don't know if you watched the Monza race for the Cup Series on Thursday, but it was
I didn't watch, but I heard it was pretty wild.
It was a bit of a wreck fest. That track, not actually designed for the next gen Cup car, in case anyone's wondering. And I don't think it's had an actual race on it since the mid '60s. They originally built it. I'm trying to remember. I think it was to host a race where the Indy cars and Formula One cars were on the track at the same time. And I can
that would
only
be-
imagine how
Yeah,
far
that'd be
those
something to watch.
yeah, how far those cars were flying off the track into the trees.
What I understood was there just wasn't a lot of ground clearance.
Yeah,
With the
very
next
very
gen
strange track.
cars.
But these two are battling, but behind them, this battle for effectively third is starting to get a little wild. They're 2 and 3 wide.
It's quite a cluster back there. It's anybody's game for third. Oh, Craig had looked like he made a poke to the outside. I don't know if he was just letting him getting some fresh air there or what, but
Yeah, it seems like he's been doing this kind of enter high, exit low line, and that's a great way to build speed onto the straightaways to prep for a pass. But yeah, I think just from what we're seeing, the 33 has decided I'm not going to make a move until it's time to do that. And I want to try to do it in a way that I get a gap so that the 48 just doesn't do the same thing back to me.
I mean, but he is glued to the bumper of that 48. There's times you couldn't fit a credit card between them.
Yeah. We were on board with, I can't remember if you were in the booth yet or not, but we jumped on board with the 48 and rode on that rear bumper cam, and we were all the way through the radiator of the 33. This is the best battle on the track other than this battle for third here, as Hanley is rebounding from multiple wrecks back to the front. That 09 trying to lock down fourth away from Chapman, is now Kano back in third ahead of this pack right here. Chapman gets real loose. They almost get together. Griffin still in that lucky dog spot if a caution were to come out, and these leaders are starting to play the swerving
they're
game.
playing some games there.
We're 12 laps in here. The fuel window is going to open in about 3 or 4 laps for the drivers who are going to try to come early. We haven't really seen any tire strategy all night long. The trucks look loose on board, and typically when you take 2 tires in a stock car, you're gonna loosen the car up and make it rotate more. So I don't think anyone is too keen to go 2 tires just because of the handling issues.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the move. I know a lot of these guys are handling better than I was, but it was very slick.
Right, but there is going to be an opportunity to take less than a full tank of fuel. So it might be that we'll see some drivers go no tires and just focus on what they need for gas to get to the end, rather than taking the 2 tires, even if it would be the same amount of time.
I think that might be the play if we stay green. And we've had some long green flag stretches.
Yeah, so let's jump on board with Cameron and kind of see what this looks like. I mean, he's right there, but no intention to try and make a pass.
I would definitely say he's biding his time, like you said. He wants to make sure when he gets that pass that he can get gone. But they're in a class of their own out there. As long as they keep doing what they're doing, it'll be between the 2 of them.
Yeah, and I just saw there's a little bit of puff of smoke coming off pit road. I just checked the board. You know what it is, Nate? It's your engine has blown while your car was idling on pit road. I can see you picked up a meatball flag this last lap.
Oh, yes, I sure did.
There it is. Look at that. Looks like the fire's out. Good. Great job by the pit crew.
Well, somebody ought to push that piece of junk back to the trailer. We're done.
I love these long straightaway shots here at Indy. See all the way back to Griffin and Kiernan battling for the lucky dog. And our onboard cameras have dwindled. It's now just Culleton and Sellers. Culleton a lap down in 22nd. Sellers in 17th. Still trying to catch a break here with a caution, get some track position that he's needed all night. Oh, is that contact between Hanley and Kano? Pretty darn close. Now Hammond going to try to go around the 09. Boyd tucking in behind to get the draft.
I love the zigging and zagging down these long straightaways at Indies to break that draft. It looks so cool from a head-on shot.
I agree. I think from the booth, it looks awesome. As a driver, I can't stand it. I'm almost too lazy to try and keep up with the swerve game. Let's just hug the wall like we usually do. Ocano starting to pull back away here for third. About a second behind Craighead, who is going to hit pit road this time. Yancey and Seawright also going down. Anthony going to join them. 15 laps to go. And like I said, this is pretty much splitting. It was about a 32 lap run it was going to be between the last time everyone was on pit road on lap 48. And this is going to set him up. So the question is going to be, how long does Thompson stay out?
Craighead's in his box now.
I don't think the 48 like has any reason to stay out any longer. Driving all by herself, I feel like she's going to lose speed versus being in the draft with somebody. I expect the 48 to come this time. And there it is.
33 took 4, and he's back out onto the access road.
You're right. So Hanley going to stay out. You know, I'm kind of hoping there's at least somebody in the field that's going to run their tank dry and hope for a caution. And it might be Manin or Abu Said. That's two drivers who were further back in the pack but have stayed out here and are now in the top 5. The other drivers in the top 5, Hanley, Chapman, and Boyd, I think they're close enough that I don't know if they want to take a gamble like that. You know, Boyd already has a victory or 2 this season. Maybe he is willing to take the gamble. 3rd place isn't going to give him much. 5th place, even less. So we'll see if these drivers decide to try and run this thing out. At least for now, Hanley, Boyd, and Chapman all stay out for one more lap. And I think they can make it maybe 3 more before they absolutely have to pit. At the most. It kind of depends on if they're saving. But I don't think anybody's saving at this point. You're just kind of... You stay out an extra lap or 2. So Abba Saeed just came in. Aaron Yancey's in. But if we go back and look at where Craighead came off pit road versus where Thompson did, about a 2-second difference. The main difference here is that Kano went 2 tires and got around Thompson. But they're side by side right now. And that is going to help Craighead pull away even faster. Thompson back into that effectively 2nd position. Once this all cycles out. And we've also got McMillan and Sellers. They both pitted 4 laps later than everybody else because they were caught up in one of those cautions. But they're only 16 laps into their run. They can actually afford to really, truly gamble an extra couple laps and hope for a caution. And this is pretty big for these two drivers. McMillan started back in 27th. This gets him into the top 5 as they're running now. As now Culleton and Hanley come to pit road. Hanley was the leader. Chapman and Boyd coming in too. See if Monin joins them. He does. And like we said, that is going to let Robert McMillan inherit the lead with Sellers in second. And then it's a full 24 seconds back to Cameron Craighead and 2 seconds back from him to Thompson. So it's all going to... And there it is. There's the caution. So with that, that's going to leave just 17 drivers on the lead lap. Hayes will be the lucky dog. That'll make it 18 when we restart. Oh, can't... Oh. It looks like Khan got unlapped himself just as this was happening. Now, what happened in the crash? Looks like Scotty Yancey involved and Setzer. Yancey's all by himself. Setzer's up ahead. But yeah, the 9 just loses it and then comes down into the inside wall. Not exactly sure why Setzer had an issue too, but I don't know if that was the yellow flag though, Nate. That was maybe a couple laps ago. That was almost 10 laps ago actually.
I was gonna say when I scrolled back, it was a ways to find it.
Let's see, that was lap. Sure. Let's see. It's this one. Again, it's the 9. Oh no! Is that Thompson? Was that Thompson? The 48 just got taken out as Yancey smacked the wall. Oh no, it was. So Kano and Thompson are catching Yancey, and he's just trying to get out of the way. 2 laps down, smacks the wall, and takes out the 48. Holy cow, there goes Kano. He gets a little sideways, but saves it. So this is really going to shake it up here. So we're back live. We're on lap 70, 10 to go. McMillan and Sellers had stayed out. So they need to come to pit road. They caught it just in time. They were going to have to come in 2 or 3 laps. Either way. And you know who else stayed out? That 5 truck, Jamie Griffin. He got his lap back the hard way by taking the same gamble as Sellers. So all those drivers come down pit road. Anybody with damage is coming to pit road. And I think anybody at the tail end of the lead lap is coming to pit road because the leaders stayed out. The effective leaders. That's Craighead, Handley, and Kano. They have been the top 3 for a lot of this race. Thompson, the other truck. But did Thompson stay out? Again, this is
I never did see him pit.
See. Go back. Yeah. Thompson did not pit after that contact. Again, let's go back and ride along with Brianna. And yeah, like I said, you can tell the 9 is just trying to stay out of the way and then bounces off the wall unexpectedly. Got to imagine the radio chatter was not too happy about it, but not really sure I can blame anyone other than the wall. So it's going to be Craighead, Hanley, Kano, Thompson, and Chapman, your top 5. Abu Saeed up to 9th. Aaron Yancey up to 10th. Gallman 11th, Monin 12th. Boyd, maybe one of the drivers decided to pit, maybe trying to get an advantage on tires here for the final run.
I've got to say that Saeed, he's a quiet driver. You never hear much about him, but he's always there.
Yeah, especially here at the end of this one, and I know the live chat's going to be loving that. That Budweiser truck gets a lot of love from the fans.
I've been around that Budweiser truck a lot, and the guy knows where to put his truck to make things happen.
So it's going to be 1 to green here with 8 to go. So 7 laps to go when we take the green flag. That might be the last caution cycle we have tonight, but I don't know. You got to take the over-under on that one.
Wishful thinking there, Shane. Wishful thinking there, Shane.
Again, there's just going to be a couple drivers to watch. So Sellers and Griffin will be the first. Well, I don't know. Now everybody's kind of getting out of order a little bit here. Yeah, so Sellers, Griffin, and Boyd are going to be the first of the drivers that pitted under this caution. Actually pulled up here. And see, so you've got Craighead is 7 laps since pitting, but got 4 tires on that stop. Hanley, a little fresher, but took 4 tires. Then Kano, kind of the only driver in the field on 2 tires. And it got him a position at first ahead of Thompson, but then she took it back before that caution came out under green flag, and unfortunately that led her into that accident with Yancey.
Well, let's pull them belts tight and see what we got here.
Yeah, so Craighead going to lead them back. And tonight, it's really been Craighead and Thompson have led pretty much all the laps. Hanley has led 5. He's going to be on the inside of Craighead here. We're back racing. Hanley actually just picked up a black flag, and I don't know why. It might have been just because Craighead chose the outside, and race control will waive that here in a second. He surely wasn't passing the leader too early. But Craighead's pulling away, and I can hear tires squealing. Gallman, Chapman, and Boyd involved in a wreck. So is Kahn, Seawright, Hayes, and Kiernan, and there it is. Big wreck. Setzer catching it as well. Go back and look. We'll ride along with Gallman. So they're 3 wide. It's Gallman, Sellers. Oh, and Chapman makes it 4 wide, and that is not going to fit. That is too much toothpaste for the tube. Then Gallman and Boyd bounce off each other. They collect Kahn into the wall. Seawright and Kiernan get together and collect Hayes, trying to avoid it. And Setzer gets caught up in it, coming through too. And this has been our trouble area of the night. This kind of the middle of 1 and 2 to the exit of 2 is where all the action has been. And that's kind of the critical junction. I think I said that in either the pre-race or the first lap, that how you get off of turn 2 is how you make or break a good lap time. Now we've got Seawright, Kyle Bushing it down the backstretch in reverse. So Kahn and Gallman both picking up the meatball flag. That is going to really hurt them. There, he gets it turned around. So Craighead's still out front. Thompson holds on to 4th place, but we're pretty sure that 48 has damage. I mean, she took a pretty hard swipe from Yancey when he bounced off the wall, but I don't really see it on the truck.
You couldn't see it, but they are very sensitive trucks. I mean, I scraped the wall and it was 4.5 minutes of optional repair.
And there's a little dent there, but that's on the wrong side. That's not where they hit. Let's see here. Don't see anything on the right front.
Looks like looks like the 48 is peeling off the pit road.
So 48 comes to pit road, as does Chapman, Hayes, Boyd, and Seawright. Most of them doing it for damage, I would assume, but we'll see what Thompson does here. I mean, I'm not sure why you pit if you're in fourth and you didn't lose any positions on that restart. Your damage must not be that bad.
It's painful to give up that much track position, especially at a place like this where it's difficult to pass anyway.
Yeah, and there's 19 cars on the lead lap, so you're going to go from fourth to, looks like probably 14th or so. There were a handful of other drivers that came down. All right, well, we'll try to do a quick rundown here. So we've got Craig Head still out front, has led a whole bunch of laps. Started first, currently first, looking good. Hanley has had a little bit of a rougher night, dropped all the way to 23rd early on, and then has steadily come back into the top 5 and now running second. Kano has been floating in the top 3 all night long. Lost a few positions back through some green flag pit cycles. Right back in 3rd. Then Hammond just has not been able to break into the lead, but has been a top 10 car all night. John Anthony in the best position he's been all night. He was kind of mired around 8th for the majority of the race. Now up to 5th. Then Simmons, I mean, and his position chart's almost perfectly flat right around 7th place until the green flag cycle right before the cautions here at the end of the race. Then Abu Saeed was kind of floating around 10th or so, and then gained some positions through that green flag cycle, and now these cautions sitting in 7th. Aaron Yancey, we talked about him earlier, having a great run up in the top 10, and then dropped out of it after one of those cautions, I believe. Has now kind of made his way back to 8th. Monen's been all over the place. We thought Monen was out of it. He picks up a lucky dog here once or twice. Fights back, now in 9th. Or 10th? I think it's 9th. And Griffin. I mean, he's been fighting to get wave arounds of lucky dogs all night long after that penalty really set him back.
There now.
Here he is, 9th. And he pitted under that last caution. Not this one, but the last one. So he's got a little bit fresher tires than everybody in front of him.
You would think after as rough a night as he's had, a 9th place finish would feel like a win.
I'm going to say that 5 car is probably the one to watch. He's going to be aggressive.
I think if I've got anything for somebody, it's Abu Saeed. That's who I'm watching in the 2 Budweiser.
The biggest gainer of the night, tied with Hammond, both of them up 21 spots.
It's about the time to put all your cards on the table and see what they got.
I think I'm looking at Kano or Hammond. I think they've been playing it safe and conservative for most of the race, but that's out the window. Going to be a 3-lap run to the finish if it stays green here.
And I've got to say, everybody's done an excellent job tonight of keeping the field bunched up. It was a little dicey there at the beginning, but I think we got the hang of it, and it's looking real good.
Yeah, especially as you say that, I notice how well put together this restart line is. A gap here or there, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so you've got Griffin on some fresh tires, Hammond and Kano trying to get it done. You got Thompson, who pitted to get Some fresh tires. Oh, a couple drivers get together. Yancey gets kicked out of line, and there goes Abu Saeed in front of Griffin. And the back half
Big
of the
wreck on
field is
front
all
stretch,
sideways.
ripping around. Oh. Well, that's. I was giving them all that credit for them tight restarts, and sometimes that's what happens
We
when they're
had to
tight on
say
the
it, didn't we?
restart.
So let's go back. Let's jump in the blimp here and see where this gets started. Trying to see who's the first.
Looks like I think it's one of the Yanceys that gets shot out of line there.
It almost feels like Abu Saeed spun the tires a little bit, and that kicked his truck to the right. And then from here, I mean, at this point in the race, no one's really willing to lift. Oh, let's go back and watch with Griffin. I think he has a pretty good shot on this one. It just looks like the Yancey and the two are just kind of crowding each other on the start, and then Griffin is just trying to stay out of it. Gets tagged 3 or 4 times before he goes around. I don't think he picked up much damage, though. And again, I'm be curious to check the radio chatter after that one. Let's see here. Jump on board with maybe Abu Saeed. Like I said, to me, it just looked like these two could have been giving each other a little more room. And right there, I do think that truck got a little sideways.
I think he might have chirped the tires on the restart.
Yeah, because right here, you can see the steering wheel is pointed to the left, but the truck is going to the right. Right? Yeah, and it just... Again, I think, yeah... Yeah, I see in the live chat. Yeah, he came up. I'm not saying he didn't come up, but if if he was an extra foot to the left, coming up 6 inches isn't going to matter. But if you only give 6 inches and you come up 6 inches, then you got a problem.
Right.
Now on board with the 7. Because he's a little further down than, is that Simmons in front of him? Like right here. But yeah, they just get together. I mean, you've got to be aggressive on a late race restart, but I don't know if side drafting and squeezing like that on a restart was smart by either driver in that situation. But again, I'm not sure anybody picked up a ton of damage either. So this race isn't over for anybody. Let's take a look at that rundown again. So it's still Craighead and Hanley up front. Still Kano in 3rd and Hammond in 4th. John Anthony in 5th. Simmons in 6th. Monin. Sellers worked his way up. I mean, he was another driver that was a lap down at one point. Yeah, it looks like Hayes picked up a black flag. Maybe on that restart, that probably should get cleared by a race control if that was a pass under on the inside on the restart as cars were wrecking. All right, who do we want to compliment this time and watch them wreck?
I don't know. I think I better just keep my mouth shut.
All right. I think, Hanley's another driver that, quote unquote, deserves a win. Like he's been there in position the last couple races, had some bad luck here, but shown speed, been at the front. And this is going to be the first green-white checker attempt of the night. We will do up to 3. But as far as points go, like Handley is 29th in points. He's not going to make the playoffs without a win. And it's, you know, it's just because he hasn't started that many races this season. And, you know, he might not even be playoff eligible, as this would only be his 3rd start, and he'd be 4 next week. I think 5 is required to be eligible. So even more reason
just short, yeah.
that this is all or nothing for the 09.
You got nothing to lose.
We're coming out of turn 4. Green-white checker, 2 laps to the finish. Craighead and Handley on the front row.
Bringing them down slow to the yard of brakes.
Green flag is out. Back to racing. The bottom line gets a great jump. That sends Kano all the way to P2 right away. Craighead up high in front of Handley. Kano's going to clear the 09 into turn 1. Now landed Kano, the first driver within reach of the 33. Thompson on a charge with those fresh tires back in 8th. And here they are, bobbing and weaving, working and twerking down the backstretch. Craighead out to a pretty good lead. Handley trying to find his way around Kano. In the back, it's Como and Culleton. Heavy contact.
Oh, Kano in the wall. Handley in the wall.
Kano goes through the grass. Does he come back up on the track? No, he keeps it down on the access road, but that sends the 09 into the wall. McMillan and Abu Saeed caught up here in the aftermath. I think Hayes just got caught in it too. All right, a lot to unpack there. See if we can, let's start with what happened between Como and Culleton. Oh, they're just side drafting too aggressively. Again, these are teammates, a team that is shutting down, but it's still not what you want to see. The 50 and the 96. They send each other into the wall, but that was not the cause of the caution.
That was at the end of the backstretch.
Yeah, it's here. It starts with Kano gets up high into turn 3 in the 09. Oh, he smacks the wall. I didn't see that. And comes down kind of the same way we saw Yancey get into Thompson. Once you hit the wall, it just brings you right down into whoever's to your inside.
Yes, I guess this is what I seen originally. Yeah, the 45 just kind of caught the wall, and
Simmons also smacks the wall, watching that happen in front of him. But then kind of nothing comes of that. Then the yellow comes out. And then Abu Saeed trying to make his way through the wreck. Oh, blinks out and then reappears in it. Oh, McMillan gets into him again. I think the 2 was having a network issue there. 68 had no idea Abu Saeed was about to appear inside his truck. So, we're on to the second green-white checker. Now we got a whole load of drivers on pit road.
And you said there, Saeed kind of blinked out. It looked like Hayes was trying to go around the top side. He thought the top side was clear, and then all of a sudden there was 2 trucks there, and it wasn't clear anymore.
Culleton, Khan, and Como all with meatball flags. They've also run out of fast repairs. So there are, let's see, 18 cars on the lead lap. 12 of them are not pitting under this caution right now. Looks like Hayes would have been the lucky dog, but has a black flag that he picked up back on lap 77 and still has not cleared. So I think that'll keep him from being the lucky dog. Then it would have been Culleton, Han, or Como. So it might actually be... The lucky dog is technically Scotty Yancey, who was 15 laps down and out of the race. So no lucky dog then.
Yeah, we started with a full field, and it sure has dwindled.
Yeah, so effectively only 18 trucks still on the track. And maybe a handful more are on pit road with race-ending damage. And if you're Cameron Craighead, you got to be thinking, like, can we please just let this thing finish? How many times do I have to defend the lead?
Yes.
Because now Kano and Hanley were the two that were really challenging the 33, other than Thompson before she got caught up in an accident. Thompson back in 6th. I don't think that's striking distance here on a green-white checker.
I don't either, but now you've got Hammond up there. And he's, like you said, he's had a good run all night, just quietly been lurking, and he's going to start on the front row.
Yeah, and Hammond with a win already in the season, so he doesn't need to play it safe to ensure that playoff win, but could use a second win on his resume and to get the bonus points. And then Anthony, I mean, Anthony's just been dead quiet. But right
quiet
there.
And evasive. I mean, been right there in some of those wrecks and just squeaked right by without ever touching nothing.
Yeah, and just like everybody in the top 5 has not pitted since lap 65. Let's see. Seawright and Thompson are the first drivers who pitted 6 laps after that. They've got a little bit fresher tires. Now Gallman in 12th will be the first car on fresh tires that just pitted. We're coming down the backstretch. It is going to be green the next time by. We got Sellers in 11th. Griffin in 14th. 2 drivers who caught a lucky dog and tried to get caught up. Griffin pitted under that one, though. He was in that first caution here in a late race restart. Of those 2. But either way, it's going to be 2 to go when they take the green flag. Pace truck coming to pit road. And the green flag is out. Craighead with a great jump. Anthony trying to follow him.
Simmons really pushing Hammond on the outside.
And Thompson up to 5th. Watch that 48 truck. Fresher tires trying to get there. Here they come off of turn 2. We got a car around in the back. I think that's McMillan. Not going to affect this race up front, though. Stay green. Thompson now in 4th, trying to get around Anthony as Hammond is working over the leader. He smacks the wall. That is not going to help. Now down the front stretch. Going to have to get everything he can out of the draft as the 92.
The inside all the way to the outside, breaking that draft. There's the white flag.
Thompson all over the bumper of Anthony. Out of turn 2 for the final time tonight. Who's going to get the run down the backstretch? Craighead trying to pull away. Thompson and Anthony side by side for third. They're side drafting. Craighead starting to pull away. Hammond into the wall. Thompson into the wall.
Oh.
Contact with Anthony. Oh, and Anthony down through the grass and into Thompson. That's going to move Boyd up to third.
Oh, Griffin upside down out of 4 at the end of pit road.
Holy cow. Craighead takes the win in dramatic fashion and holds on to second. And then Michael Boyd moves up to third as the trucks in front of him wreck on the last lap. We're going to have to go back and unpack that one, but right now we are celebrating our podium drivers of Cameron Craighead for Skidmark Motorsports, Jonathan Hammond for Infield Legends Motorsports, and Michael Boyd of Dirty South Racing. And that was an action-packed race, start to finish. Multiple drivers running up front for the majority of the race end up with bad luck somewhere in the second half. It takes them out of contention.
Oh, what a wild finish.
So now Craighead coming down the front stretch here at the Brickyard. Gonna burn it down. Got some drivers doing burnouts on pit road too. Let me mention, this is going to be Craighead's 5th win of the season. Hard to argue with that. 5 out of 9 have gone to the 33 truck this season.
He's cleaning up.
I think he blew the tires off of that thing.
He's not done.
Yeah, speaking of the 33, we got him in the booth right here. Race winner, Cameron Craighead. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I mean,
Incredible race, buddy.
yeah,
Thank you.
it seemed like you're out front most of the time. You're racing with Thompson there. She gets caught up in an incident with a lap car. It kind of takes her out of it. She tries to get back to you there at the end, not quite making it with contact with the 42, but it just seemed like over and over you had to defend the lead here on these multiple restarts at the end. Are you thinking like, can we please just end this thing, or are you looking forward to defending the lead?
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to race these guys, but at the end I wanted a few cautions because I had way older tires, so I wanted to have less laps to have to worry about it. And even like right there on that second lap, Hammond was, you could tell he was faster. But then we got into overtimes, and I was like, oh my god, now I don't have enough fuel. But luckily, I was able to save it. So, looking forward.
Had plenty of fuel. You was even burning them down afterwards.
Yeah, just a few laps, just enough to give a good burnout.
I got to ask real quick. We were watching you and Thompson running really hard, and you were just staying right there on her bumper. Were you playing with her? Were you just biding your time? What was that?
I was playing with my food, no, but no, I like being the second Indy because you're able to kind of push the car in front of you into the corners, you saw like a lot of times she'd overdrive and that burns her tires up quicker. And I'm able to, I know when I want to go, but she can't, she doesn't know when I want to slow down. So she's got to go farther and I'm able to slow down, save my tires, but still make her think I'm pushing. And that's what that was
Absolutely.
about.
Make her run a little harder. Good strat, bud. You heck of a job.
Thank you.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, coming to the finish at Talladega or Daytona. Like you don't want to be the car in front. You kind of want to be in the position to pounce on the person in front of you.
For sure.
It doesn't hurt your fuel mileage either, being able to tuck in behind a truck.
Oh no, it's pretty nice all around back there. But yeah.
Congratulations again. Your 5th win of the season. I mean, at this point, you've won more than you've lost. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
You're going to have a great buffer going into the playoffs. You're clearly the favorite. So what do you got for us next week at Darlington?
Hopefully another win. But I'm going to go in there and win stage, lead some laps, try to win it. Not too worried about it.
No, I think that's the privilege of having so many wins at this point. But congratulations again. We'll see you out there next week.
Alrighty. Thank you for the broadcast.
Yes, sir. See if we can get 2nd or 3rd place, Hammond or Boyd, up here in the booth. See them down there. I don't know if they want to talk. We'll have to see. Let's go for it. $92 of Hammond. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, we saw you move your way up into P2 there in the closing couple laps and the closing couple cautions. It just seemed like we couldn't get this race over with here at the end, but tell us about your race.
Yeah, no, definitely we couldn't get this over fast enough, but it was a good race. Had to just be patient in the beginning, just run my laps, let those guys fall back to me, and then kind of long pitted it, and it got us up there in the top 10, and then kind of just stayed up there to track position, and hope just didn't get any cautions.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you're coming into that pit decision, is it obvious to go short, go long, split it right down the middle? We saw a couple drivers gamble one way or the other, but it seemed like everybody was pitting at the same time for the most part.
Yeah, definitely not obvious. The first stage, definitely I wanted to long pit that, especially my teams all wanted to kind of long pit that. It was our best strategy, I thought. But at the end, I was definitely in between of short pitting or long pitting it. Really didn't know what to do, what was my best option. So I just kind of went into the middle, and just I guess you could say that worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I think the key to the night's race was just staying out of trouble. You're one of only 6 drivers that didn't have to use a fast repair, and I think that's what gained you that track position there at the end and helped you hold on to it. So congratulations again on the podium finish. Anybody else you got to thank for tonight's run?
I want to thank Chevy for giving me a fast truck as always. I want to thank Infield Legends Motorsports. My boy Steven almost got a top 10, got 11th after crashing at the end. And I want to say thanks for the fans in the chat and the broadcast booths for doing always a good job.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again. We'll see you out there next week at Darlington.
Yes,
Great
sir.
run, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next up, the driver of the 21 coming home 3rd, Michael Boyd. Michael, you got a copy?
I did.
All right, walk us through your night. I mean, it seemed like you were kind of floating around the top 5, top 10, and then right there at the end, you came up in it, kept it clean as a couple drivers got taken out, and that brings you up to the podium. Tell us about your night.
I mean, I was pretty much running top 6 all night, and towards the end there, we ran that long stage we ran it out long so we'd have tires compared to everybody else towards the end, and it just all worked out. I really didn't think I was gonna get a top 3 like I did, but because on that last restart green white checkered, I was starting like about 8th, 10th, like I just can't believe I got that. I got real lucky coming off of 4 when Brianna Thompson and Johnny Anthony, they both wrecked, and I just got real lucky with that, and I just barely missed it coming out of 4, and I wish I finished in front of Hammond because I would have stayed in front of him in points. I might stay in front of him in points. I'm not too sure, but I mean, overall, it was a good night. And I just want to thank my teammate Cole because he was the one who made that call, and it was just overall a good night, really.
Yeah, nothing wrong with third at a tough track like Indianapolis that took out about half of the field before this thing was over. So congratulations again on the podium finish. We'll see you out there next week at Darlington.
Yeah, and I did get into a late wreck too, but I came back from that.
Hey man, sometimes the chips fall your way.
Yeah, I mean, I got real lucky.
Well, congratulations again. Like we said, always love to see that 21 truck up front, and we'll see you at Darlington.
Yeah, I just want to thank, Dirty South Racing for giving me this fast forward tonight. My teammates just helping me all night. Speed Edge Designs, Full Send Media, R&B Wheels and Tires, the Open Fender, and, everyone up in the chat, my friends, family, everyone watching, you guys broadcasting the race, man. I appreciate what you guys do every week.
Well, we appreciate you too. All right, that's going to wrap up our interviews here with the drivers on the podium for the THDesigns Outlaw at the Bricks 200. We are going to go back now and take a look at some of those last lap wrecks that kind of added to the drama of the finish. So we saw, going through the event list now to try and track it down, we saw Anthony and Thompson involved here. Thompson grabs the wall and bounces down into the 42, and then the 42 kind of has no control as he comes across the grass and the service road, comes back into Thompson, and then drifts down into Griffin. You called it, Nate. There goes Griffin around.
Oops. Yeah,
We'll go back and
he took a nasty spill there at the
watch
end.
that ride. Because that brought Griffin, I mean, that took Griffin out of the race. He did not actually finish and came home 19th. And jump on board. Here, he just catches the edge of Anthony on the way by. And then the hood's up, and then the whole truck is up into the inside wall. And bouncing down the pit road entry. He didn't go all the way over. But like I said, was not able to finish that final lap. I'm not sure anybody else got caught up there in that last lap situation. Like maybe Abu Saeed had an issue as well. Just down through the grass to miss some other drivers, reckon. That was back on lap, 87.
Yeah, that was coming to the checker there. They started wrecking there in 3 and 4, and it just continued all the way on to the front stretch. It seemed like
something happened to Gallman. Oh, that's Kano and Yancey. I didn't see them wrecking. They sure did. Let's out again. Looks like they're related to Thompson and Anthony's wreck. So after Griffin goes by, no, they must have wrecked on their own. Here it is. Kano's inside of Griffin. Oh, so Yancey smacks the wall in the exact same way that Thompson did. I mean, we saw that 3 or 4 times. The driver on the outside hits the wall and it just throws them right down into whoever's on their inside. But that's Indy.
there's not a lot of room. Not a lot of room when a mistake happens to get away from it here.
Well, that is going to wrap it up for us here. We're going to take a look at our final results. Get them to show up here. There. Nope, that's the race info. There we go. So it's Craighead, Hammond, and Boyd on the podium, then Simmons and Mana in your top 5. Chapman, Wyville, Seawright, Sellers, and Hanley. I'll tell you what, that is a rebound for the 53. We saw him involved in heavy damage early in the race. Then Abu Saeed, 11th. Gallman, Kiernan, Thompson, and Yancey, your top 15. Kano, Anthony, McMillan, Griffin, and Hayes, your 20. Then Culleton, Khan, Como, Yancey, Setzer, NASA, Denny, and Weaver in 28th.
Way back there.
Still smoking
Hey,
on
we
pit
didn't-
road, though.
Hey, we didn't finish last.
And then
We
in
finished
29th,
next.
it was Faria. Saw him out early in that one of those early cautions. So not a bad race from up here in the booth, but I'm sure there's a ton of drivers that wish they could have this one back or just skip it altogether and head to Darlington next week. So we have our regular season finale next week at Darlington. Hope you can join us for some more Indianapolis action here on GEC. Join us on Thursday night as our Cup Series will be racing here. And there's a number of drivers battling for the last couple spots to get into the playoffs. Everybody trying to track down Malone. So we hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching the GEC eNASCAR Series, the Outlaw at the Bricks 200 for the THDesign Truck Series at Indianapolis. We'll see you next week.
Sun's going down and the rig is on. iRacing is where I belong. Discord's lit and the drivers are here. This is GEC. There's